Warning. It is the opinion of the Forestry Productions LLC and the Working Perspectives podcast that we should inform you that some of the language used in this recording could possibly be considered offensive. You have been warned, so if you decide to listen to the recording, then don't complain about the language.
A Tampa mayor made the catch of the month while fishing off the Florida Keys in late July. Mayor Jane Castor reeled in 70 pounds of coke worth $1.1 million while on vacation with her family. This is the mayor of Tampa, by the way. So Castor had been vacationing in that spot for years. Her and her family always, always fish out there and everything. And they noticed that there was like this mass floating, and they know that like the fish kind of like to hang out in there because there's shade underneath. And as they get closer and closer, so this chick, Jane Castor, she was 31 years as a cop too. So as she gets closer and closer, she notices the bales and stuff. She's not only been a cop for 31 years, she's been a cop in Florida for 31 years. So as she's getting closer, as she's getting closer to it, she's like, oh, those are like, bales.
Reel it in.
Yeah.
I know exactly what that is.
It's time for those listening domestically and those listening around the world. It's the Working Perspective podcast, found wherever you find the thing that goes in your ear and the stuff you listen to. Followed always by my fearless pack, we got my favorite Villanova, Vanilla Gorilla, Bern Podcasy. Also from my brethren, the neighborhood legend, N-Dub's finest, Scrim Scrapper, Liam Reese, and as always, our sleepy leader, the boxing bear himself, the hairiest man I know, Matthew, stay awake Lavelle. Bern, how we doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. No one has ever called me the Vanilla Gorilla before, and I'm delighted. I'm delighted right now. I forgot what I was going to say. Just thank you.
Liam, what's happening, Poppy?
I'm great, man. I appreciate it. A legend in my own mind. Thanks.
And listen, my carpet-bearing brethren, my boy, my ex-teammate, how are we doing over there?
Steve, you know what, man? I love it every time you do this intro. I love when any of you guys do it, but this everyone do an intro every week has been freaking great, and you nailed it again, pal. Great job.
Well, let's get this thing started.
Let's go.
It's our objective to be effective by voicing societies, working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid, launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live, then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. Working perspectives.
All right. So on the show, we're going to be bringing you topics from around the globe. The topics are going to fall under three different categories. The categories are stupid is as stupid does, incredibly incredible, and sports and spets. We're going to go to the first topic. Liam Leshmize Reese, what do you have for stupid is as stupid does?
Stupid is as stupid does. A Florida man was arrested on fraud charges in July after allegedly registering a 1977 Porsche 911 Turbo that was stolen from the Sarasota Classic Car Museum. The man allegedly used the VIN number from another vintage 911 out of a California salvage yard to register the car. So earlier on June 14th, police responded to the Sarasota Classic Car Museum after a burglary alarm was chipped. So they came, they showed up, but nobody from the car museum was there after the alarm was tripped. So they just thought like, okay, false alarm, no big deal. The next morning, everybody from the car museum gets there and they notice there's like, marks on the door from prying it open. A section of the fence is missing. A bunch of the cars were moved out of the way. He even managed to steal some gas and put it into the porch so that he could drive it out of there. And, so they only had him like on camera, like doing all that stuff. So he was like, his whereabouts were unknown and everything. And the 9/11 question was, there was like only 15,000 or fewer of these cars, right, Steve? They're like really rare.
The old Porsches are stupid rare.
And he was arrested because, I'm assuming there's more than one way to find the VIN number or whatever.
Sure is.
So he was able to use an old VIN number of an old 911, but I guess he didn't hit every single location where the VIN number's printed or located. Yes. And they found one, and obviously it popped up. So
listen, they stamp it all over the car, the VINs. It's all over.
Yeah. So when he did that, and when it's a car like this that's super rare, I'm assuming you have to go through more to register it, right?
Correct.
And instead of just Grand Theft Auto, now he's being charged with a felony of scheming to defraud over $50,000. And he's being held without bail. He won't be arraigned until like September 22. But he's in like deep crap because of how rare the car is and how expensive it is. It's not like just stealing a car.
He had it. He got it out of the museum, and nobody could figure it out. Like he was right there. He just wanted to drive it around every day. Like I
Now the issue is you have to register it, like, because nowadays cops, whenever anybody ever sees those little like weird cameras on the back of corners of cop cars, all they're doing is scanning registration. They don't care about your inspection anymore. They don't care about insurance is not their issue until they pull you over. Registration is what they get you on. So clearly he was trying to like make this thing so that he could drive it around, which again,
street legal.
Yeah, not a great move. Like, just what are you doing?
Yeah.
So it didn't say much on what he missed, but I'm assuming, Steve, somebody brings a car into the shop and everything. Mm-hmm. He's got to get it all inspected and everything before he registers it, I guess, or to
not in Florida. No inspections in Florida. No inspections, but you have to have it registered. Zero inspections. Yeah.
Oh, so he totally messed up then by
big time
by letting somebody see that other VIN number, dude.
Steve, to the uneducated, how many VIN, like, if I've never stolen a car, but if I have to, how many VIN numbers are there and where were they located? Or is it just like they're everywhere and you'd have to know your way around the car inside and out to get rid of them?
It's impossible to get rid of them because they stamp them on the frame, they stamp them on the dash, they stamp them on the inner side of the engine bay, and it's a 17 character between numbers and letters. So it's almost the combination is, I don't care how many cars in the world there is. Every car has 17 unless it's built before, I think it's 1968. Then it's only 10 letters and numbers. But after the 60s, it's 17 combination of numbers and letters. So it's impossible to replicate.
Oh,
and it's everywhere. And it's stamped everywhere. You'd have to take the whole car apart in order to clean them all.
Correct.
Good
now,
to know.
I don't want to breeze by this. My favorite part of this story is he stole gas, Liam. He didn't go there with gas. He was like, I'm confused. Did he drop the cipher in and was sucking it through a hose? Like, where did you get the gas? Because that is real dedication.
Yeah, it must have been an afterthought. Like, he got in and he's oh man, I'm at a museum. They don't really put gas in these.
I'm sure it's not full. I'm sure I didn't get topped off recently.
I knew a guy one time that broke into, like, how they keep like all the school buses at like one place, like a bus depot, I guess, or whatever they call it. He broke into the bus depot and siphoned the diesel gas out of the buses because he had like a big truck and he didn't want to pay for the gas, and he got busted doing it. Yeah, crazy. But all right, very good stuff, guys. Let's keep it moving.
Here's my issue. Depending how he did it, there are like the little things you can stuff into a gas tank and you push like a accordion looking thing and it it creates the suction. But 99% of the times you don't carry that with you, so you just bring a hose. I've seen my father do this a million times. Used to gross me out every time I grew up. That you just straight drop a hose in there and suck until it shoots into your mouth. spit it out, and now it's flowing.
God.
I wonder what technique he used. I'm gonna go with he sucked in some gas.
He
spit it out and let it rock.
I know he 100% did it with the hose.
Yo, the guy's a gangster, dog. Your friend, or allegedly this guy, is a gangster.
All right, good stuff, boys. Let's keep it moving though. Steve, what do you got for stupid is as stupid does?
So we're heading to the home state for all of us. We back in good old Pennsylvania. We in Penn's Woods, right? So in Lancaster, home of the Amish, there's a woman named Linda Johnson who happened to be the GM of a Wendy's. Now, Linda probably didn't get a degree from Stanford, but she decided she was going to make a little extra brajul on the side, a little cash, you know what I mean? So she created a fake employee and clocked this employee in and out 128 times for their shift, collecting $19,898.15 until finally an auditor from the corporation came through and said, who's this person, right? So they started asking a couple people, and everyone's like, I've never seen this person. I don't know who this person is. One guy who, shout out this guy, he's probably just high as shit. But this guy says, I think I had one shift with him before, but I can't remember what he looks like. And he was dead honest, right? This guy's just zapped out of left field. So after the reason why they caught this absolute genius was that she was depositing this fake employee's checks into her Cash App.
No.
Not into like she didn't go Biden and make like a shell company. She went directly into her name, her Cash App.
Just go check, just lose the 10% and go to a cheap check cashing place. You know what I mean? And then take the bread and put it in. Like that's
100% Bern.
Steve, how long? So he's like over like 120 shifts over. Like, what was the time? Do you know the time
well,
span?
If it's 19,000, you'd have to think, what do they make? 30,000 a year?
Right.
It was almost 1 year. I think they said a tad shy of 10 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Wow.
128
honestly,
shift cards.
I love it. I absolutely love the move. This lady's a boss. I mean, you know, I know this, like working in kitchens and stuff, there's a lot of times they'll have like immigrated guys that don't have a social security number. Like they did a lot of places that Bern and I worked where they'll come in, they'll be under someone else's name, and then that's how they get their paycheck. You know what I mean? Like that happens a lot, you know.
You funnel it through. My brother-in-law's coming into work, but he can't. Okay, well, we'll stack it on you, and then it's up to you guys to figure it out, you know, every Friday type of deal.
Yep, exactly. So
do we know the fake employee's name? Like if you're gonna create a fake employee, do we know the name?
Gotta be like, Liam, what were the names you were throwing in the chat? The ones to use for
Horatio Cornwaller's good. You can do Stu Pidbitch. You can do first name. Can we just go old school? First name Stu, last name Pivich. You can also do Mike, first name Mike, last name Ox Small, you know, or Ox Large, either one you want, you know.
Can we just go old school? Like I don't even need a lot of thought process. Can I just go bend over? I don't know anything.
Good old Ben.
Come on.
Ben.
Classic. We can't. And then here's my other thing. So as stupid as this girl sounds, for those that don't know, Lancaster, the number one thing for your car is to avoid giant piles of horse doo-doo because they drop it all over the road because there's Amish guys everywhere. And so like she probably looked around and scoped the scene and was like, no one gives two fagools about this Wendy's in the middle of this Amish town in butt smut middle of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But here's the problem.
Come on.
The corporation does, because they do a thing called an audit, and it probably wasn't like every once a year with that one, because there's, I don't know how many Wendy's there is, probably 1 billion, but they were like, you know, it was probably like that 5-year thing. She also doesn't know the rollover, when it was coming, and she just happened to fall into the storm.
I hope they showed up.
She's not the only one that's done this in Wendy. Like she probably found this out from someone else.
Wendy's?
But now like
100%.
they're doing an overhaul of all the Wendy's. You know what I mean? Like now that they found out like people were doing this.
What if corporate was showing up to be like, man, this employee has not missed a single day in 120 shifts. We would like to show up and show our man, this dude clocks in 5 minutes early every time, clocks out 5
Yeah.
minutes early. This
Works double overtime.
This person, this person is a horse for us, man. Let's
Yeah.
go show him some
Let's
appreciation.
get them the assistant manager job.
Exactly. Never calls in sick. No vacation days.
Showed up on every holiday. They were here Christmas. They were here
Every double pay
Thanksgiving,
day,
Easter.
time and a half day. Oh yeah. Never worked doubles those days, baby.
I mean,
What a
this
hell
lady
yeah.
probably basically just doubled her paycheck, really. You know
For
what I
sure.
mean? Well,
I mean, a
close-
general manager.
yeah.
She probably made like
She
50.
probably put about
Yeah,
30
she's probably
30% on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
she's
now-
probably making at least 50 or 55. But
I can live off 50, but you throw an extra 20 around. Now we start to get a little crazy, you know. And, who knows?
Oh yeah.
just start making some choices.
Yeah. How about it, baby? Damn. Well, shout out to her. That's a boss move. I'll tell you, that's a Hunter Biden-esque move. Let me
Yes,
tell
it
you.
is. That's an
HBZ
award
would be
winner,
down for that.
Easy.
legend.
Hunter Biden award-winning esque move. I'll
Nominee.
tell you that for sure. Absolutely. Shout out to her. Good stuff, guys. Let's keep it moving. Liam, we're going back to you. We're gonna move it into incredibly incredible. Liam, what do you have for incredibly incredible?
So a Tampa mayor made the catch of the month while fishing off the Florida Keys in late July. Mayor Jane Castor reeled in 70 pounds of coke worth $1.1 million while on vacation with her family. This is the mayor of Tampa, by the way. So Castor had been vacationing in that spot for years. Her and her family always, always fish out there and everything. And they noticed that there was like this mass floating, and they know that like the fish kind of like to hang out in there because there's shade underneath. And as they get closer and closer, so this chick, Jane Castor, she was 31 years as a cop too. So as she gets closer and closer, she notices the bales and stuff. She's not only been a cop for 31 years, she's been a cop in Florida for 31 years. So as she's getting closer, as she's getting closer to it, she's like, oh, those are like, bales.
Reel it in.
Yeah.
I know exactly what that is.
Yeah. So she reels it in, and they're like out off the Keys. They're in the middle of the ocean. So there's no cell service or anything. So they reel it in, and they don't want to let it float away because then they might lose it. So they haul it up onto the boat and everything.
Hell yeah.
They get within cell service and everything. They call it in and say, hey, this is the mayor. I just found all this. Yay. And once they got soda, they called it in. All together, it was like 25 separate bricks. And they all had like these butterfly, like, you know what I mean? Like these
like
butterfly,
stamped, like a
butterfly
Stamped
like
up.
logos. Yeah, on each brick was a butterfly logo. So if anybody in the cartel is out there listening and you guys use the butterfly stamp, I am very sorry for your loss.
Yeah, and just say from all of us here at the Working Perspectives podcast, anyone in the cartel who lost some butterfly, we just want to say our heart really goes out to you, and we hope you guys figure it out. We're rooting for you.
Yeah.
Listen,
for sure.
I'm just gonna be the first one to call bullshit on this. This is the mayor. I feel like she was trying to smuggle this in, got cold feet, and was like, "Oh my god, we found these."
Well,
and
that's what I was
I'm
thinking.
gonna turn it in. No, honey, you got close to shore, saw the Coast Guard, and because you got the ultimate trump card, you're the mayor. You were like, I can't believe we reeled this in. Ha ha ha. No, sweetie, you was trying to. This is the home of Hooters, by the way. Tampa Bay is where it was born and raised. No. It's a party town. Stop it, lady. You liar.
Initially, there was 26 bricks. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's on vacation, babe. We're having a little time.
She's the mayor too. Sure, but she's a mayor in Florida,
right?
Yeah.
In Florida,
it's a whole. Well, it's a whole different thing.
Dude, could you imagine if they got cocaine crocodile down there?
Oh my god!
Whoa.
Oh, baby.
Cocaine crocodile. No.
You just wrote the next
Cocaine
Jason
Bear was
Statham
bad.
movie.
Golly. Woo-hoo. Oh, baby. Nice. Man, that was great. Great stuff. Woo. Dude, I'll tell you, I'm kind of with you, Steve. I could see this being
this is Florida.
This is a
Florida.
gimmick for sure. Honestly,
100%.
I bet she was her first initial thought was like, "Ooh, can I flip this to my old police connect? Is Javier still there? All right, go ahead, Bern.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, as Liam was telling the story at first, I was like, oh no, this poor sweet mayor, like, they had no cell service. So when he says that, I'm thinking, Coast Guard comes rolling up, and she's like,
Yep.
no, I couldn't call it in, but I'm the mayor of whatever.
Yep.
And then, because I'm an optimist, but
Yeah.
then I thought about it, and I was like, or she saw that one boat cruising and was like, all right, let's just hey, SOS.
Yeah.
Got all this.
Here's the wild
stuff.
part. All the good fish were in Cuba, so we took our boat to Cuba, and then we were on the way back after catching the best fish. We didn't catch any, and it was sad, but we caught a giant bale of cocaine.
Yeah.
We were
What?
following
What?
a stingray.
Yeah.
Yeah, the throwback. Remember, we did the that California police union director.
Yes.
That was smuggling
Yeah.
all that synthetic
The
stuff. So
fentanyl,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
out of the realm of possibilities. There's
Heck no,
especially
man.
not in Florida.
Now, dude, I bet there's
It's
other
expected.
mayors, like the mayor of Jacksonville is like, oh, that's where that went. You know what I mean?
Damn
Somebody in
Oh, Tampa, you got my blow again. Golly.
the mayor of
Yeah.
Tallahassee is fuming.
How did my blow end up in the Gulf? It's supposed
Yeah.
to come up the Atlantic. What the hell?
Yeah, nice, good stuff, Liam, great stuff, baby. All right, let's keep it moving. Strong Stem, what do you got for incredibly incredible?
Again, man, this is why me and Liam are from the same hood and the same people. And Matt, it's funny you said, we're going back to Florida, by the way. Funny you said cocaine crocodile, because you know what's worse than a cocaine crocodile?
Oh, tell me.
A cocaine shark. So there's now been a bunch of people and scientists off the coast of Florida, the Keys specifically, that have been targeting to see what sharks do when all the drugs that get flung overboard by people who are now being ran down on by like the DEA and the Coast Guard and everything else, right? So they're beginning to eat them, and they've learned that they've seen erratic behavior. For instance, scientists have seen hammerheads who are 95% of the time want no smoke with humans. They just get it. They just like swim away, right? They're coming aggressively at them. They've also witnessed multiple sandbar sharks swimming in circles like lunatics after nothing, right? So they're realizing that these sharks, when they pass away, they're testing them and they see that there's cocaine in their system, right? So they took a experiment, and they dropped bales of condensed fish, concentrate fish dust into it, which again, I don't think this is a good fucking experiment, because they're gonna love that. They call it the catnip for sharks, and they come up when they see these bales before they can even smell what it is. They're not releasing it into the water. They're just immediately biting it. Once they smell what's in it, then they go crazy. But they have seen the behaviors that these sharks are going after these bales, right? Now, as they say, these cocaine sharks are getting excited. There is very deep proof, because people think fish are so stupid. I don't believe that for 1 second, right? Especially, again, mammals are different, but
tell that to the people on the submarine.
Dolphins are very well documented and known that they target puffer fish, right? And puffer fish, their defense is that they release a super antitoxin, or a toxin that will F up other animals, but it doesn't F up dolphins. What it does is get them to the moon high, right?
Nice.
They trip balls, just like they've observed, like, certain cattle and reindeer will eat certain psilocybin mushrooms and just zonk out and be high as a kite. Just like that. Of course, dolphins, the smartest animal that's not a human, purposely targets these super poisonous fish, because it's not poisonous to us. It's a party.
Do you ever see them throwing them in the air? So like the pufferfish,
they put them in their nose
inflates,
and whip them.
And they whip them up
like a beach ball.
Air. Yeah,
it's crazy.
And they all hang around. They just throw this fish up in the air for like a half hour. Like it's just, they're getting high from it, and like then torturing it for their own amusement.
Now is that the equivalent to us sitting around and passing a L? Like, is this the equivalent?
It might be.
Yeah,
because like
that's
they knock it to each other, right?
Yeah.
They knock
Talk
it
about
to
a
each
puff,
other,
puff,
and then they
pass,
wrap it.
huh?
Yeah.
They combined a
Flipper
joint and a hacky
is way
sack.
cooler than you thought. Flipper's way cooler than you thought.
Oh yeah, Flipper gets down for sure.
Flipper.
Yeah.
And did you ever see like the dolphins like at SeaWorld that just there'll be a male that sees a pretty female and just like comes up onto the shore and tries to hump her to death because they know dolphins. My favorite animal.
Yeah, they're gangster.
We getting high and we fucking.
Dude, I can't imagine like one. I was under the impression that that when they tell you like when you see a shark, try not to shit your pants because apparently like human shit, they call it shark sugar, right? Like because it like
And it's
attracts
urine
them.
too. And it's urine.
Yeah. Like it drives the
Oh,
sharks
no.
nuts.
And just I forgot I left this out. Just alone last month, not year, last month, as in 30-day span, the DEA and the Coast Guard collected $186 million of floating cocaine off the coast of just Florida. That includes obviously the Atlantic and the Gulf and the whole Keys around it. But that's in 1 month, 30 days.
What was the number? What was the number?
$186 million worth of coke found floating in the ocean. And I still don't believe this stupid bitch that says she's the mayor, but floating around in the ocean that was discarded by, bullshit subs and all that other stuff.
Sounds like anyone can bump into, 25
Guys,
of
guys.
if you're around Florida.
I feel like we're missing an industry. We need to start forget a charter for like blue tuna and other fish. How about a charter to just go find
sharks.
floating bales?
Dude,
bales
we should do like the cocaine cruise. You know what I'm saying?
Dog.
I
Get
like
a
it.
cruise
Forget
ship
about
and let's just start looking for extra cocaine rolling
I just
around,
got
baby.
this 2,000-pound tuna. It's worth $5,000. I'm like, I just found 76 bricks.
Yeah.
Fuck your $2,000.
Yeah.
All you
on,
need is one mayor. One mayor from Florida, anywhere in Florida on your boat, and you're good. Here's what scares me about this, though. We're talking about
reach out to the Tampa, broad.
We're talking about cocaine sharks.
Yeah.
So, like, the combination of like cocaine sharks and global warming, like, I like a lot of sci-fi movies, right? And so if you're watching a sci-fi movie and it starts with like, there was a planet, everything was cool, but then they started melting their water and feeding all their water animals cocaine. Surprise, surprise, like it's Dune, 500 years from now, there's like a desert and there's like 7 people alive. Like we're really, if we're going to start melting these polar caps, we really have to stop giving our sharks cocaine. You know what I mean? Those two things together are not it's a bad look.
Sharks have been getting more antsy than ever anyway.
And the water level's rising. We're just juicing them up for when
imagine when White Gladys
Jersey.
gets her hands on some yay.
It's a wrap.
So here's my issue. Here's my issue. For anyone that doesn't know and look it up, there's this thing called the stoned ape theory, right? And how like the development of humans have become, right? We found psilocybin, it helped like expand your mind. That's where, including with fire, it's how like humans developed, right? Their brain doubled in size in a certain time. It's a great thing. You got to look it up. Stoned ape theory, right?
Right.
Here we go with the shark stoned ape theory. Next thing you know, White Gladys is walking on the beach after a little bit of blow and ready to go. And we got real issues as a land dwelling animal. Here we go. The dinosaurs are back.
Yeah, we had enough.
The coasts are getting bigger and the land's getting smaller
as it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Brutal.
Yes.
It's a bad combo.
Bad combo.
Damn it.
Nice. All right. Really good. Hey, great stuff so far, guys. Really good. Shout out again to our sponsor and our #1 fan, Florida, for hooking us up. Bern, what do you got?
I mean, we're 3 out of 4 Florida right now, so we got 2 more stories to go. No matter what happens from this point forward, we will be 50% Florida for this, and I think that's
life.
50% Florida is always a great
Faux
time.
life.
That's a good. We should all get that tattooed on our neck.
50% Florida. I do love that. Shout out Florida, fan of the show, listener of the show. Very good. Let's keep it moving. We're gonna go into sports and speds. Oh, dude, yeah, totally. Yeah, we're keen to keep it moving, going to sports and speds. Steve, I'm going to you. What do you got for sports and speds?
Listen, this is just a strange thing. I went back and forth on which story I wanted to use for this, but I ended up going this one. It's a little out of my realm. That's why I went this direction. But a guy, Blake Martinez, right? A former NFL linebacker who was a 4th round pick in 2017 by the Green Bay Packers, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're in the 4th round of the NFL. Like this dude legit, right? Big boy, 6'3", 225, moves like a champion. He has a company, it's called Blake's Breaks, right? And he retired from the NFL because Blake's Breaks is selling Pokémon cards on this site. There's a bunch of sites, but Whatnot's the big one. I've never heard of this, but for some of you guys that do trading cards and buy stuff, Whatnot's like the app, right? To go on and like trade your cards. So he's been doing Pokemon cards, NFL linebacker, right? And he's thinking of meathead, right? He made last year alone $11.7 million in 1 year off selling these Pokemon cards, right? And he does all types of stuff. Like he sells them when he pulls them out of packs, because obviously he's got some NFL scuttles. So like, you know, he's got some backing to be able to buy these things and do like these things.
Probably
and he
a
also
YouTube
does
channel where he does, you know, on openings and unboxings and stuff, which has revenue.
These openings he does them, and he says like, hey, you can like throw in bread as like a gamble to see if you can get a good card out of them, which they said he like set up. And also a bunch of other people are complaining that they never received the cards they paid for, blah, blah, blah. So of course they go down and they shut it down. These nerds have his website shut down, right? He's no longer allowed to be on this premier thing of whatnot. I'm gonna ask you guys. He's a big meathead, right? He's a football player. Guess what college this guy went to? It's not gonna surprise you.
Oh, tell me he's a Gator. Tell me he's a Gator.
Nope, wrong. You too.
Sentinel?
Nope.
Damn, is he a Hurricane?
Harvard.
Very close, Bern. We're hot. Liam, he's hot. What do you got?
DC?
And Yale.
Nope, very close. Stanford educated.
Oh,
So of course, this big meathead figured out how to scam everyone. Like you look at him and you're like, I guarantee guys that jumped on his site were like, oh, it's a big meathead football player. He's a dummy. No. He graduated with a degree in finance from Stanford.
I was gonna say he's an econ major at Stanford. Yeah,
100%.
Stuck around.
Homeboy
He hurt his knee as a senior, so he hung around for that fifth year just to get the master's, and then realized like, oh, I don't actually have to battle Charizard, i.e. Aaron Donald or whoever's coming at me to punch me in the face every day. Like, I'm just gonna get out of here. And just...
When I saw $11.7 million in 1 year, I was like, how is that possible? Then it came up that he was a Stanford graduate. I was like, oh yeah, never mind. Makes sense.
Yeah,
makes
he's
sense.
like, I'm done getting whacked by Quentin Nelson. I'm gonna sell Pokemon
100%.
Dude,
I'm tired of tackling Derrick Henry. He's a linebacker. I don't want Derrick Henry running into me no more.
Andrew Luck, also Stanford grad. Is that am I right there?
Sure
is. Played together, right?
Sure is.
Sounds like the same time period.
Nah, Luck was in the league for a long time, but he came out in 17. Luck probably graduated like 13, 14.
Oh,
long time before.
Yeah, maybe 11.
Luck's already
Christian McCaffrey then, right?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
If
What
Christian
you think?
McCaffrey
What
tries
you
to sell
think,
you
Liam?
some real estate in 5 years, don't buy it.
I know you and Ian know something about cards. You gonna buy from this Stanford meathead or what?
I mean, I don't know. Just talk about hitting the genetic lottery. You know what I mean? Like he's an NFL player and everything, and then he's Ivy League educated. I mean, if I'm being honest, it's two things that I'm not really big on Pokemon, but I do like there are trading cards that I like and everything. And but it is two things I like, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that, like nerd stuff and football. So I would be like,
why would you buy from him?
Hey, I like this guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're thinking he's well known. Why would he rip you off if he's in the spotlight and everything?
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
I also think like he has the money to buy the cards.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect to get ripped off by him if that's what you're
saying.
I would trust him.
Yes. I was about to say the biggest thing was like when people probably looked at it, even if you were into cards like balls deep. That's probably not a great term, but balls deep into cards, and you're like, you look this guy up, you want to know what's going on. You're like, Stanford educated, made it to the NFL. You're like, this dude's like, this is the Terminator.
He must love this too.
Right.
Like he left the NFL to do this. This must be a special. You know, the COVID really, even with like sports cards, like all of that stuff is
all
back.
came back. Huge.
It all came back. All that collection stuff came back during COVID because people couldn't go do anything. So it became like,
it's a whole gimmick.
It became a whole gimmick.
Shout out E-Dub. N-Dub's a former guest of the show who loves his card trading and buying. I hope you didn't buy any from this bull, Ian.
Yeah.
Or if you did, at least hope he sent them to you. You know?
Hope
you got
or
him.
hopefully you could sue him because he's got the bread to pay out.
Yeah.
This dude lives in Turks and Caicos now. You know what I mean? Like he's not coming back here for that lawsuit.
Dude, I'm sure his refund policy is airtight. Like, you know what I mean?
It's
like
zero,
he knows
Matt.
what he's doing. Yeah.
It's zero.
So, nice. All right. Very
this
good.
dude's been gone.
Good stuff. Very good. Let's keep it moving, guys. Liam, what we got for you for sports and speds?
Bern, you were wondering. You said if it's 3 or 4, it's going to be at least 50%. Well, we are definitely going to be over.
Yeah!
66.6 repeating.
Yeah!
Love it.
Dude, a country club manslaughter suspect was identified by a hole-in-one photo from an article in a local paper. So basically, these two dudes, a 74-year-old and an 87-year-old, get into a fight out in the parking lot. One guy parks too close to another guy. He busts his jaw for him. And then, you know what I mean? Like they get into it, but the 74-year-old dude is like hammering them and not letting up, you know? So the 84-year-old or the 87-year-old is, you know, not doing too good. His wife's freaking out and everything. She says she's calling the cops. The 74-year-old, he splits, you know what I mean? So they get like his description, and there's a video of it, but you can't really like tell who the guy is and everything. But the wife is there. She's a you know what I mean? Like she's a witness.
Witness, yeah.
Eyewitness, dude. Yeah. So what they do is they go through like, you know, all the members and everything. And then one of the cops gets smart and they do a Google search for like golf in the area and everything. They find an article. They're going through articles and everything. And they're asking the people, like the witnesses and stuff, like, hey, do you recognize this guy? Guess what? The hole-in-one article, he's wearing the same outfit he was wearing when he beat the dude to death.
My God.
So they're like,
Did he hit the
that's
hole-in-one?
him. That's him. Yeah, he's the one that hit the hole-in-one. So,
Which means
so
he
the
went into the
article's, like, all
clubhouse
about him.
afterwards.
Yeah, so they're showing
use
him
his credit
pictures
card.
and everything, and the witnesses are like, oh, that's definitely him, you know?
Yeah.
So then they find him, and he says, you know, he gives like the story about how, like, you know, he thought
He's
the guy
on
was
testosterone.
okay. He said he thought the guy was okay. When the wife said she was going to call the cops, he said he went over to like, there's like a little porch where like the, you know, where the clubhouse is and everything. He said he waited at the porch, nothing happened. So he, you know, took off. And then I guess, you know, when he found out the guy had died, he's pretty much would just keep it to himself, you know?
Jeez.
But
Listen.
yeah, that was how they made like the, you know what I mean? That was how they identified him, was with this, his hole-in-one article.
Now, listen, my favorite part of this, there's a thing called, I may or may not have been in a little bit of trouble before, allegedly, but there's a thing you can have that's called the FOIL request, right? A Freedom of Information Act, right? So you're allowed to obtain from any arrest or anything. You can obtain the call from the dispatch. You can get the body cam footage. You can get anything you want. Surveillance cameras that are public footage, anywhere you want from like a public building. I need to know, when you said they called in a description of this 78-year-old man, can I get that audio? Because they're like, it's a silver fox. It's all white. He's driving a Cadillac. He's smoking a cigar. It's Florida. We out here. Like, what was the description of this man?
His shorts are short, but his socks are black and a little too high.
Yeah.
Dude, you want to hear the funniest part? Well, not funny, because it's sad that the guy died. So they got into this fight. He goes out, he yells at him, hey, what the hell, man? You hit my car. They fight each other. He beats the crap out of this guy. And then he finds out it wasn't even his car.
Hell yeah.
No one in the parking lot had the
my
same car as him.
God.
It wasn't even his car. So he beat this guy to death over a car that wasn't even his.
Oh,
Now, hold on.
man.
Slow up. The guy that died was 86, correct, Liam?
87.
87, yeah.
Well, did he beat him to death, or did, like, you know, God kind of just take
Did
him?
life,
Point?
Right. Did he
Did life
nudge him to
take
death?
him? Yeah. What did he do? Pull the
That's-
oxygen out of his nose? Did he like get the tank away from him that he was carrying behind him on a little wheelie cart?
I mean,
He unplugged the oxygen tank.
Yeah, that was it.
You're done now, homie.
Punches thrown.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
I
really
guess-
tough, though, man.
I guess when you're talking about an 87-year-old, like a 13-year difference, I guess
Yeah.
is a lot, though. 74
Means
to
the
87.
world.
Yeah.
Means
yeah.
the
I'm
world.
thinking of that
age.
situation. So this guy's
Also,
still,
yeah.
his name's Robert Edward Moore, and he's still obviously a prick, because whether he says
Yeah.
he meant to or not, he took off. You know what I mean?
Also,
Oh.
who would beat it? Like this 87-year-old guy, like you could, blow in his direction and he's dying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? Yeah, this guy's
But
a
also,
total
Matt,
mooch.
also, Matt, in the same token you say that, at 87, I don't give a single F-U-C-K.
Nope.
So, like, if there's a
I'd
problem,
rather be beat to
let's
death in the
go.
parking lot of my country
Yeah,
club
100%.
than just die on my couch tomorrow.
100%.
You know,
But-
the 70. This, you talk about 14 years, but like the 74-year-old is a little bit older, probably, or right around the like average age for a male in the United States. So the 74-year-old is like lucky to be alive, and the 87-year-old is like, you're magical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
You're on
no one
borrowed
gets
time.
that deal.
Mhm.
I always hate it when people say like, well, at least they died doing something they loved. You know what I mean? Like, think about being like, I got caught because of my hole-in-one photo. Like that was the happiest. It was my home club. Like that was the happiest I ever was. I posed for every picture with everyone who wanted a picture. I went into the 19th hole and had to put a drink for everyone on my credit card. Like it's the most conspicuous day I've ever had that I was super happy and proud of. And that's Exhibit A.
Yeah,
Now-
he was wearing his lucky outfit, so
Yeah,
he's wearing it to golf and stuff. Dude,
So
but
rough.
the thing is, I get what you guys are saying, but the 74-year-old, here's the problem with all that though. When he hit the 87-year-old, he hit him once and he dropped. So if they were arguing and stuff, if he dropped him once, 87 years old, that's when he should have
You better.
that's when it should have been over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then
I mean,
he kept wailing on him after that. That's kind of, I don't know.
Two things. One, you say that, but I'm also 76. What are they going to do? Put me in jail and be dead tomorrow? Fuck you. But
Yeah.
I just want to bring this up because I'm a giant asshole. We know this. Anybody ever here try pure oxygen? One of my buddies whose grandmother passed away. This is a terrible story. We're such scumbags. She
Yeah.
passed away. They had
I would've
extra
done it.
bottles of oxygen, and we
I
would
would've
get
tried it.
wasted at his house and just rip it right. It's not quite nitrous, and it's not quite. I don't know. It's a completely. It's like
It's a
I
blood
don't even know how to
high.
explain it. I don't even know how to explain it. If you
It's
just
not a
stick it in your
mind high or a
nostrils,
body high.
and then we've removed, again, I may or may not know how to work a regulator through welding. We removed the regulator and just opened that bad boy so it would force air into your nostrils like a damn banshee. You rip that thing a couple times and then put it down. I was pretty sure I could jump off his deck. It was a beachfront house. I could jump off his deck and land in the ocean. That's how I felt, so alive. If there was this around when we wrestled, Matt, and I could just lean over
just that.
and rip pure oxygen. Yeah. And now people
So
wonder why they do
too.
it on like NFL like sidelines. You see the guy with the pure oxygen mask? Try that one time. The second you're done, you're like, let's go.
Dude,
So,
if I was
here's-
like a bench warmer, I'd just be
Oh,
whacking that the whole
Whacking
time.
it.
You kidding me? Be
Yeah, the
like,
star
hey,
comes over the star of the team comes over to hit it. There's none left. You're like, I don't know. I didn't even get into play, but I've been whacking that all
dude.
game.
I mean, I've been really losing my breath on the bench over here. Sorry.
Better put me in, or else I'm gonna do all this. Oxygen.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
need at
Liam.
least 15 plays today.
Well, yeah.
Oh.
Here's a question: can you get too much oxygen? Like, can you, like, you know what I
No.
mean? Like, you rip on that oxygen too much. Can you, like,
I mean,
get? Can you?
I'm
well,
not
like,
OD from oxygen.
Yeah,
Probably.
I'm not a doctor, but you know me, Liam. We pushed it to the limit.
yeah.
So, and it worked out. Everybody was okay.
Yeah.
I bet you
We ripped-
could.
we
Anything
ripped a
good can kill
4-foot
you. Too much
tank
water
and-
kills you. You know.
I think if
like-
you only
Not
drink
oxygen.
oxygen, I think if you just do not drink, inhale oxygen, if you only do that, like you could possibly suffocate. Maybe.
You could become a better athlete, right? So I ripped a 4-foot tank with 2 other guys, and we cleared that tank in 30 minutes for sure.
So,
I
Steve,
don't know how much oxygen's in one of them, but
so Steve, when you do the nitrous too much and your lips get blue,
Yeah.
you do the oxygen too much and then they get like bright
they
red.
get too red. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Nice. All right, cool. Good stuff, guys. We are coming to the top of time. Benoit Podcasy, what do you got before we get out of here?
I mean, 66.6 repeating Florida stories, and I never saw any of them coming. It's just, it's the gift that keeps on giving. It's the wang of the nation. It's the peninsula that never pauses. Just keep up the great work, guys. Steve, Liam, and Florida in general.
Yeah.
Just feed us, man.
Thank you,
Feed us.
Florida. Thank you, Florida, for being you.
The best.
Yeah. Nice. Very good. Lashmoosh, what do you got before we get out of here?
Well, speaking of which, here's a little show magic, a little behind the scenes.
Ooh.
I may have discovered a Florida man subreddit and selectively pull stories out of that.
Yes!
News for the news, So.
Nice, dude. Love it. Absolutely stinking love it. Absolutely stinking
Always
love
hits. It always hits.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you're batting 20,000 with that. Good stuff. Nice. Keep it going. Very good. A strong Sam. What do you got before we get out of here?
Listen, this is a PSA. I just want you guys to know.
Mhm.
For the Utes. The Utes.
The
out there.
Yotes.
I need you Utes to know. Do not indulge in nitrous oxide.
Mm.
Unless you want to be cool.
Mhm.
My bad. I didn't mean that. Wait till you're
And when you do,
21.
just wait. Just wait. Wait
You
till
son
you're
of
old
a
enough when
bitch.
you-
And when you do it, don't take half the balloon. Take the whole balloon.
Yeah, don't be a bitch.
Yo, that's not nice.
It's true though.
It's definitely not cool.
Yeah, how about it? All right, good. So speaking of taking the whole balloon, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, coming today by Strong Sense Steve Cabot, Lashmize, Liam Reese, and the bad boy Benoit Podcasy, Bern Podcasy. In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. Yeah, also on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workperspectives@gmail.com. And please like, subscribe so we keep bringing you this sweet, sweet content. Thanks for listening. Check out our next Let's Get Retorted episode.
Listen or die.
Yep, we're about to record that now. Thanks for listening. Have a great
Or
weekend.
die.
Thanks. See you.
Die.
All right, this is the post show where I'm telling you, go watch the Let's Get Retorted episode because it's freaking hilarious.
Or die.
We're leaving and we're about
Die,
to
die,
record
die,
it.
die,
All
die.
right, thanks. See you.